Hello, buenas noches. You didn't hear me say buenas noches. Okay. The writing process. That's the writing process. That image says it all. The founder of Putnam Press, a major New York publishing house, once said, "There is no such thing as good writing. There is only good rewriting." If you're writing a book, you also need to know this. In 2011, over 1.5 million new titles were published just in the United States. New titles, that's 29,000 every week. 22,000 were self-published, 7,000 were traditional publishers. This year, the number is expected to be the same. Then there's this reality. No matter how you publish, 70 to 90% of all the marketing and publicity will be done by you, the author. Your time, your money, your capabilities. The roadmap is bewildering and ever-changing, and it's easy to get overwhelmed. So the maze can either frustrate you or you can embrace it, which is why it's important, in my opinion, to keep things in balance. The writing process means setting your own goals, mapping out your own journey. Why do you want to write? Who are you writing for? How important is a book to you, really? My journey arrived unexpectedly, which is often the best way. I was at an ashram in upstate New York 10 years ago, reminiscing on what a life I've had. In something called the Blue Sky Room, I took out a little notepad and began jotting down names of family, childhood friends, memorable events like first dates. I filled several pages and only got to high school. I then took each entry, free-wrote whatever popped to mind, not worrying about grammar or repetition, and that's how my memoir about boyhood came to life. It was illuminating to see that who I am now was so similar to who I was growing up. But there was still the writing process, which meant first and foremost, the craft of writing, finding out what I wanted to say and, more importantly, what I didn't need to say. Memoir is not about facts, it's about truth. Still, one needs to be detailed and specific. For me, it was a very specific time and place. I came of age in the South Bronx of the 1960s and 70s. A lot has been written and filmed about this neighborhood, and the image captures its duality, decay and still a determination, Boricuas unidos venceremos, to be victorious in the other. But I found in my own writing process that I wanted to break away from what has become a traditional ghetto image. We were and are a great community, and we are having some fun times, and I wanted to give props to that. Plus, I wanted to show humor in an area that was even tougher than the neighborhood, and that was Catholic school. In my school, we were populated by a chalk-throwing nun who one time nailed my friend Julio right between the eyes from dirty paces. We called her Deadeye. This illustration is by my brother, George Perez, who's considered one of the top 100 comic book artists of all time. He volunteered to do drawings for the books. That's Brother Stephen, one of the trio of desperados known as the Brothers of the Sacred Heart. They taught the all-boys class in our Catholic middle school, pretty clear what's on his mind. But being in Catholic school also had its blessed moments. Like the reason I became an altar boy, which was to look at girls' tongues when they received Holy Communion. This is for the chapter called Lenguas Sabrosas. It's actually moments like this led to my first date. And there was other wow moments like that that led to the title of my book. Wow was the first word in English I learned. I was talking to my mom, "Mami, ¿puedo hablar inglés?" She goes, "¿Qué es, mijo?" Wow, ay, qué hijo inteligente. I'm not 2 years old, but this image was cuter, so I used that. Actually, the title came together after tons of rewrites and also from sharing my work with others, getting feedback, discovering the essence of my story, the essence of me. The importance of this cannot be overstated, of being in writing groups, workshops, and reading your work aloud. Do you get it? Do people get it? In my opinion, acting is the perfect complement to writing, and it has served me immeasurably. Acting gives insight to character, dialogue, the use of all our senses of movement, drama, and comedy. For all creative types, I can't recommend enough the benefits of trying even one class. Expect the writing process to have some mixed feedback. Let me state here that whether you're self-publishing or going with a press, you should always get a good editor to help you put it all together. You cannot go it alone, and it might be up to you to design your own book also. Through all this, you'll still have your maze, but hopefully your path will become clear, even if it takes years, as mine did. The publishing route is a whole other journey. It's a long story, but as it turned out, an emerging film company that a close friend started liked my manuscript and decided to launch a press with my book. That was great and helped me to realize one of my goals, which was to point and say, I did that. Of course, I faced more work in getting the book out, but I also did a lot of research and planning, which paid off with tours, awards, and recognition. My motto has been and continues to be, keep it manageable, and I advise all writers to do the same. A fifth grader emailed me, I loved your book, please write more books. That was the best, and this is a place you can get it at, Moby Dickens Bookstore. But the ultimate, really, sisters and brothers, is to cross the finish line. I had joined a vast community of authors and storytellers the world over. And also, I took pride in achieving my other goals, which was to give props to my neighborhood, to write from the great Southwest about the great South Bronx, the birthplace of hip-hop, to make us laugh and to add to the rich and colorful stories of growing up Puerto Rican, of being Latino, y celebrando nuestras vidas que son llenos de sabor y son llenos de salsa. Thank you.